Namaste everyone. In today's video, we're going to look at Muni Patanjali's Yoga Sutra 3.2. Now in this Yoga Sutra, Muni Patanjali is helping us understand the concept of Dhyana and is showing us certain key characteristics that define Dhyana in his entire system of yoga. So let's take a good look at the Sutra, start breaking it up word by word and understanding it a little bit better. So the sutra itself goes Tatra Pratyayaikatanata Dhyanam. Alright, so this is the sutra itself. Now let's break it up word by word and start understanding it. The first word over here is Tatra. So Tatra is referring again to the previous sutra which says there or therein, and it's talking about the process of dharana and how it leads into dhyan. So that's Tatra. Then coming to the next word which is Pratyaya. Pratyaya specifically refers to an experience or what the chitta is experiencing at that moment. And then we come to the next word which is Ekatanata. Now, eka usually refers to one and tanata is similar to the tautness or the stretchiness of a particular object. So, ekatanata defines one subjectedness but for a very long period of time. So, that is ekatanata. And the final word here is dhyan, which is basically the word that the sutra is trying to define. So on the whole, what this basic sutra says is that there on that particular spot, when that focus becomes one-pointed, long and really deep and focused, that is known as the process of dhyan. So now that we've understood the overall meaning, let's get much deeper into it and start understanding it a little bit better. Alright. So in this particular sutra, Muni Patanjali is explaining to us how we can go really deep into a particular subject and start to enter into meditative states of concentration. As we were discussing in the previous sutra, usually towards the end of Nirvichara Samapatti, we start entering into a state of dhyan. But dhyan is particularly characterized by very deep and one-pointed concentration. So if we have to continue the example that we were using last time, which is also in the book that we use as our guide and source, this example states that just the way initially in dharana, an animal was tied to a rope and tied to a pole, for example, a horse, the minute you try to make the rope smaller and smaller and the horse's field of movement becomes shorter and shorter, that indicates moving towards the stage of dhyan. Because once that stage of movement reduces and all your focus and attention is completely on one object, that is when you start to move into the state of meditation and or dhyan. However, also commentators do say that meditation is not an accurate word to describe dhyan because meditation still implies a certain amount of thinking and cognitive intellectual process. But dhyan, the traditional sense of the word, refers to no cognizance or no thinking from that intellectual perspective. Instead, it refers to the subtle reception of an understanding of the object from a more intuitive space, and that is something that represents dhyan. So meditation also as a word doesn't accurately kind of describe what we're trying to say, but it's the most closest translation that we have. Now, looking at this definition even further, it's really important to keep in mind that the mind, when it's focusing like that, trying to stay in meditation, a lot is going on. And so the sphere of the difference between dharana, dhyan and samadhi is very, very internal. It's really hard to externally sit and say, now you're in dharana, now you're in dhyan, now you're in samadhi. It is something that the practitioner has to verify, identify and check for herself or himself. Because it's such an internal process, it's only something we will be able to say whether we're in it or not. And eventually, as you go deeper and deeper into these states of dhyan, you understand an object so well experientially and intuitively that then you go into the state of samadhi where you become at one with that object. And it is also said that through the process of dhyan, the reality the reality behind an object gets revealed to us, because until then we're only experiencing preconceived notions, whatever ideas our mind has created about that object, but we're not seeing the truth of that object and the bliss of that object and what it has to offer us behind all those layers of intellectual thought. And that's why it takes a long time to reach these real stages of Dhyan. I think most of us modern day meditation practitioners may not even be reaching the kind of Dhyan that Patanjali is talking about, because we still stay in the realm of thoughts, of intellectualization, of cognition. So it's very difficult to explain this process in words, because it's such an experiential process. But what we can understand is that through this sutra on Dhyan, Muni Patanjali is helping us understand that it takes a long time. It's about ekatanata on that particular subject, and that one pointed focus and concentration transforms into Dhyan over a period of time. So this is what Muni Patanjali was trying to explain to us in this Sutra 3.2, where he describes the process of Dhyan. In further sutras, we're going to look at the process of Samadhi, what happens, and what all these three processes are called altogether. So do stay tuned for those future videos as well. Now, if you've enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to leave a comment in the comments box below. We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget also to like this video and also subscribe to our channel, because we release new videos every single week. Now, we look forward to seeing you in the next video or in our next class, workshop or course. So feel free to sign up for that. The link is in the description, and we can't wait to see you very soon. So until then, take care, keep practicing, and we'll see you in the next one. Namaste.